Afternoon everybody, how are you? My name's Iris Smith and I'm the owner of a small business called The Flower Patch, where I make beautiful artificial flower arrangements for all occasions. Welcome everybody, I hope you've all had a wonderful day and I hope you're all busy enjoying yourselves. Right, and thank you for your comments as well, I really do appreciate them. I've decided today to just do a small 12-inch grapevine wreath, but I just want to do it in the colours of lime green and black. I'm going to do it coming just down each side from the top as well. I'm not doing the crescent shape, I'm just having it hanging down. I have done a bow where it's in the beautiful small 7/8 of the harlequin pattern. Then I've got the 1.5 inch in the harlequin, just the plain black in the 7/8, and also a sparkly green one in the 5/8, which I've just noticed I've not cut a couple of the tail ends on a couple of them at the bottom. We are going to go through what we're going to use. I want to try to see today if I can use several elements that we would have, you know, a lot of us would have already in our storage or our boxes or buckets. I want to see if, you know, I can try and do something with what majority of us will usually buy in on a regular basis. So I'm going to bring the camera down. I've got a lot on today. So I'm going to do again it right at the top. I may attach the bow first this time and work around the bow. So bear with me. I'm just going to bring the camera down, everybody. So let's just see. I may zoom in a little so you've got more of a view. Oh my gosh, yeah. I'll bring it where I'm going to do, because I'm going to work upside down. So I'll bring it where you're going to see it more, which is up there. So let's start our project. Right, again, and I'm sorry about yesterday with the video. It was, it really did throw me when I stopped it accidentally. I did beat myself up about it. I do tend to do that. But we worked through it. Right, I'm going to attach our bow right at the top. I'm going to put where the small tail ends go to the top and the longer ones are going to just hang down. So let's just thread our wire, because I have placed wire through the back where it is through the cable tie. And if I can just get that through. I don't usually start with the bow. I tend to incorporate the bow a little bit further along, but on this occasion I'm going to do it slightly different, because you don't always have to start, you know, incorporate the bow later as you go along. You can incorporate it, you know, at the beginning or right at the end. It's entirely your choice of how you design and where you feel most comfortable. So I'm just twisting the wire at the back. I'm going to cut off some of the wire. I don't want all of that. And then I'm going to pop it back in the wreath. so it doesn't, you know, scratch on anybody's door. Like so. So we're going to keep the tail ends hanging low today. I'm not going to cut them short. We may get a visit off Marley, my cat, as well. He's hanging around. So we're just going to fluff it up. Right. So there we have it. Now I'm going to go through what we've got before we carry on. And what I've got out, I may not use everything. I couldn't make my mind up on a few things, but I've got out some black eucalyptus. Now I have placed some of these on picks, single picks, and then I've still got some of the full bunches here. And so we've got the black eucalyptus. I've also got out, because I wasn't sure, some black fern in the smaller fern on the bunches as well. But I've at the same time got out the longer and the bigger black fern as well. I'm unsure which one to use. I may use both. I'm not sure. I've just pulled off the bunch a few of my longleaf willow in black, and I've placed a few on single picks as well, because I don't want it to be too chunky, you know, too much. I've cut it down off a bunch and placed a band around them. And some of my tree pine, just to give that green with the black. I'm not sure. I may use these. I've got some leftovers from the eucalyptus, so you know, I may use those just for a bit of volume in the arrangement. But I've also got out some spiky but twisty grass. It looks a bit twiggy, doesn't it? But that's nice. I like things like that. So I've got some of that out for some rough texture and contrast against all the leaves. I've also, now I haven't got a bag for these, unfortunately, but I've also got out my fern in the green, and it's heavily glittered. Now the glitter does shed, so it does come off. So if I just went like that, you may see a bit on my fingers. So it does come off, but I've got the green fern, and I've kept these in the bag. The bay leaves in lime green as well, which are also heavily glittered. I've got out my lime green berries. I've placed a few on single picks, but I've also left some on the actual stem in case I want to incorporate the black stem with the berries. Now I've found these wispy bits, so I'm going to I may use them, I may not, but just to try and get rid of them. These are all I've got left, so I feel you know, we could just use them. I decided to get out for the floral 3 of my black orchids as well, just to have some floral in. And of course I've got lots of this, guys. My black poinsettias, what are quite like a webbing effect where they cut out. And I thought, I've got some lime green poinsettias with glitter on. I may use them to add in as well for a lime green floral. So it's a lot of glitter today. I just wanted to, you know, I know people represent the poinsettias with Christmas, but there's no harm in placing the poinsettias in, you know, autumn Halloween arrangements, things like that, or anything really what you're doing, just as a nice flower. So we've got those 3 as well. So back to our wreath. So I'm going to start, let's just slightly move some of the things down. I'm going to have a look if I can use the leftovers of the eucalyptus, and we'll add some of that in. If you haven't got this, guys, use willow. I'm going to try and remember to, you know, just state what you could use if you haven't actually got what I'm getting out. So I, again, use willow, eucalyptus, yeah, longleaf, well, this is longleaf eucalyptus, so Italian ruscus, things like that you could add in as well. So I'm going to go under, start with our bow, and place one either side of the bow. Now, some of these leaves do face the opposite way. If you can, and you have something like that, and you can twist them back so they're facing the correct way, then just do that. Some of them I can't, and I have to pull off and glue back on. So we've got that as well. So then we'll do one on the opposite side, lift up and place in there as well. So we've got those there, and I'm looking for a smaller piece. So we could place these 2 smaller pieces at the top up here. I have got another longer piece. I could place that at the top and the 2 smaller pieces either side. So let's try that so I can use them all up. So we'll just go behind and then manipulate it so it's bending upwards. Again, just turn some of your leaves like so. So then we'll place these other pieces either side, just to fill in these little gaps. And this is going to be our background foliage. So we've got now our eucalyptus placed in. I can just turn some of the leaves around. Like that. There's a couple I can't do here unless I pull off. So that's how we've got it at the moment. Then let's see which fern. Now these are all different sizes. I think that would look nice. So if I find a single pick, or I don't think I've got any. Oh, I have got the other one or 2, if I can get it out. I think they will maybe look better on top, and just use the larger ones at the back for like support on our rest of our floral and foliage that will be going in. So again, and I'm just bending these at the end slightly down a little bit because I want it to go to point downwards. I don't want it sticking out from the sides. If you find that some of them are too long, just pull some of the leaves off at the bottom, and it will give you a longer stem as well. So like that. And if I can find any smaller ones, I want to bring one in the center. I got another one like that. Yeah. And then I'll place one, tiny ones in the middle so you can just see the tips of them. There as well. So I don't need any more of those. So we'll place those down. I could bring, you know, a bit of foliage just coming underneath. So I may bring a bit of the other black fern. Now I have, well, I've taken these. Now I don't know if I'm going to use everything. I may incorporate a few. Let's just see. I'll just get 5 out for now. And I'll bring just a few on top of these where they're the same shape, as you can see, as the eucalyptus. So if you haven't got this eucalyptus, they will work. The willow. It's just to mix them up. So you've got the black and the green together. I think I've found somewhere where I can get some like these grapevine wreaths, the same size, but a little bit, not too much, but just a little bit chunkier. So I think I've found somewhere for that. So I'll bring one to the top. there we have it. I've had to wait in for a parcel this morning. Well, 2 parcels. And there was coming at the time that I usually take Benji for a walk. So I had to wait an hour longer. And poor Benji, when I went to fetch him, I could hear him crying, wanting to come out. So let's have a look at the tree pine. Now, again, I don't want to make it look odd, but we do need different textures. And obviously, well, let's just grab the green fern, take the tag off, and just pull one stem out. Oh gosh, all that glitter then. So you've got 3 sprigs. I don't want to place them in whole, so I will, let's put these in first. I may not use the tree pine. Oh gosh, these are, forget how tough they are. And I want to bring these on top just to give that, you know, shiny and sparkly feel. And just spread them out a little bit. You can't place these on picks, they don't come off. If you don't have this, you know, sparkly fern, or, you know, or just use any other fern. What if you've got any just plain lime green fern? That would also work well. I'm not going to put loads of this in, guys, with it being exceptionally bright and too, you know, quite glittery. And we've got the bay leaves as well, so let's just lift up that, place that in there, bring that to the top. Then thread our bow back through. Maybe let's move a little bit of the greenery over as well. Like so. So I'm not going to use any more of those because they are quite bright and, oh, full of glitter. I'll hang on to the tree pine. I'm not sure whether I'll do anything with it. I've got the berries, so it is a lot of green, so I may need, let's just place in our, I've cut one down shorter because I know it's going to go on here, or 2 down shorter, sorry, because I know they're going to go there. So I've prepared those. Let me cut it a bit neater. I've got those ready. So I'm going to go in between have that there. So here's the other one. If you haven't got any orchids, but you've got something, you know, maybe black blossoms, that are long. You could incorporate those, or let me just push that in. Let me think. If you've got black feathers, you could use black feathers instead. Now, I may bring one above. So I got 4 out. I wasn't sure. So I may bring one above this green leaf, so the green leaf doesn't look too much. Oh, I've just cut that leaf. I think I may have to shorten it even more. Because I don't want it, you know, going longer than the green leaf. Just lift up our bow. And bend that. Again, we're going to end up fluffing up our bow quite a lot. Like so. So I don't need that one. Now the spiky grass. I just want to add in a bit of different texture as well. Now these are push-ups, which I love. If you haven't got this sort of grass, you know, or twiggy grass, you could use, you know, just the brown twiggy grass. If you haven't got that and you've just got normal grasses, you could use that instead, or things, you know, that are twiggy. And I'm trying to think. Or you could go on your garden and grab a few old dead twigs that have fallen on the ground, or cut them off your shrubs or trees and use that. Or if you've got a garland that I've got a lot of twiggy bits on and then a bit of foliage, you could use that instead. Now I'm going to place these at the back. Let's cut it. So I'm going to place one around this area. I'm going to leave it as that cluster. And then one around there. Let's have a look if anything's coming through. There's just one. There we go. So I've got that. And maybe bring one at the back of here as well. I may grab another piece and place it coming down. So you could either have, with me using poinsettias as well, you could either use this. I'm just lifting it up, guys, so I can see. can just move that out the way. You could use it for maybe late Halloween or Halloween going on to Christmas if your theme is black and green. Some people, I've done orders before for Christmas in blacks and greens. Let me just move that leaf. Like the lady said, I think this year it's going to be pinks and blacks are quite popular for this year. And then maybe bring one coming down. I may cut this in half though, because I don't want it as big as a cluster as that. So let's just chop that one in half, push it up to the top. Now I'm just going to go from this side and place it under the tail ends. And just have it peeping down. Like so. Now I've got this little, oh, I've just put it off. That I could bring that in there. In fact, that may have been a good idea to pull those off. Dip them in the glue, and I'm going to stick them just to the ribbon, right underneath at the bottom. So we've got a little bit, you know, of foliage also being incorporated in the bow, so it just doesn't look like the bow. Let's place that in the middle of them both. It's sat all by itself, so I don't need any more of those. I don't really think I'm going to use those guys. Now, let's see, where's that? I want something green down here. We've got a lot of black here. I know we've got the green here, so we may need to get the bay leaves open. Right, let's see. Can you imagine the people who make these? Can you imagine how much glitter they've got all over them? Now again, this is going to bring some sparkle. So I'm going to bring a full leaf just around here where the orchid is, and our fern. I'm going to bend it a bit, so I've separated those. I'll do that the opposite side as well. So I'll go under the orchid, turn it the right way. I don't think that's caught very well. Oh, I don't know. It's just not. There we go. Where's the fern? No, it's just not sitting straight enough. Let me cut it a little bit. So we've got that one there. I've squashed our bow again. Again, if you've got something else that's glittery instead of these, what's similar shape, add those in. Because today's going to be lots of glitter, so I'm going to bring, because there's glitter and glitter, but there's no glitter around here, so I'm going to incorporate a bit of it around here also. So we've just got it popping there. And we'll do the same on the other side. No, I think that's gone through. Yeah, it's bent. So let's just try that again. Doesn't seem like it's gone in, even though I can see it going in. There we go. There we go. Keep working with it and it will all come good. So then now we've got that glitter there. I won't put any glitter here because we've got the tail end in the centre. So I'm going to leave that as it is. Let's just find all the loops and fluff up again. You'll find if you're a beginner you will fluff up your bow lots of times. So I'm not going to put, and let's put a rubber band on that. I'm not going to use any more of those. Right, now let's see about the floral. You don't even have to have floral. You could just keep it as foliage. Trying to look for they've all got different sizes, so I'm looking for the smaller ones to start with. I may not even place the green in because we have got a lot of green in now, so no. So I want to bring some of the floral on top. So let's get, I want to bring one definitely up here. So let's just cut that one down. Just by putting foliage in that's quite bushy and there's a lot of leaves to the stem, that adds volume, and also it fills up your arrangement. Fabulous. So I've just gone under the bow and I'm just bending the head so it comes in, or bending the stem so it comes in more towards the center of the bow. So I'm manipulating the stem inwards. So I'll place that one there. Then I'm going to come slightly out here and I'm going where the green sparkly bay leaf is. So I'm not going to sit it on the black. So I'm going to go here. Then I'll bring one down here where the green is. So I'm placing the black poinsettias where there is green or lime green. So we're going to come out just a little bit further. With this one. Then we'll do the same on this side as well. Go where the green glittered leaf is. Move the black out of the way. It may need to be pushed in a little bit more. So that's there. And then with this one, I'll bring it down where these ferns are here. So it's alongside the fern. So I'll just turn it around a little bit and then we'll place it I may have to cut it because I don't want it extremely long. So let's just cut this one. So it's sitting in and going near where the fern is. So I'll do that on the opposite side. Sorry if you can't see. Just bring that fern leaf down a bit. And then we'll do one here also. I can see there. And bring that one down there as well. So you've got your black poinsettias all in. Instead of using the green poinsettias, I may just place the green berries in instead, because if I place these in, it's going to be hiding a lot of the foliage. So we'll put those there. I don't think, no, we don't need any of the tree pine. I don't mind cutting it off the bunch because I can use it for another project. So we will be fine. And if you've got any leftovers as well, you know, oddments, you could use those. Now, again, I may even bring these black ones on the outer side just for the length and also the, you know, the airiness, because the majority of the foliage is all around here. You know, the fullness of the foliage, it's mainly around the focal point, you know, the bow. So it's all around here. So let's put a few in. If I can get, I keep dropping leaves off them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll get 5 out to start with. Even if you just see the tops of them, that's okay. may not even want them that long, if I'm being honest. I want to keep it, I've created the boundary, so I don't really want them that long. So let's see if I can keep them a bit to a minimum. Just so you can see a bit of the tip at the top. That's just there. So you can just see it, you know, popping its top head through at the top. So I'm going to want one around here because I can see there's a bit of space around here. So let's try and get that one in as well. At the back. I may bring one down the centre just to be with that green grass. That doesn't feel like it's gone in. There. One around here as well. Then we'll bring one coming down through the centre. So we've got that there as well. I'm going to put some berries in the centre as well. Let's get the loop up and bring the tail end down to the bottom. There. So I'm not going to place any more of those in either. I'm not going to put any eucalyptus. I cut a couple of pieces off to see, but I don't know now. When you have a look, it changes your perspective once you've got everything else in. So now I've placed these on single picks so I can dot them around. And that's what I'm going to do with the berries, I think. I don't know how many I'm getting. I'm just pulling a few out. And by just adding the lime green around where it's quite dark, where you see the black and this dark green eucalyptus, just by adding the lime green, gives it a little bit extra, you know, pop. So let's start just bringing some in from here. Sorry about that. I don't know if you can hear the noises. Helicopter flying around. Then I'm going to go to the opposite end and I'm going to place one in a similar position as well. Okay. You don't have to be obviously exact. I'm going to bring some on the outer side. Again, dot them around in a zigzag. I'm going to bring one in the middle of the bow. So we'll lift one of the tail ends up and the loops, get underneath. Find where the grapevine is. Just place it in and do the same. And manipulate it to be sat around the middle. Where the poinsettia is. So then we have that. Now something's, I think that's not enough. So I'm going to cut that down a little bit as well. Put a little bit more glue on. So get some more. And I want to bring a couple, just there's a couple up here as well, near where the orchid is. I'm going to cut these. Bring one there. So it's just by scattering them around. I just lift it up. Like so. I don't think, no, I'm not going to bring another one in. What have I done with it? We'll leave that as that, so that's got the berries around. And finally our, see, I do think they look pretty. But then let me just stand above to have a look. I can see better. No, they're starting to hide at things. So I think there is one, excuse me. I think I'm coming down with a chest infection. I woke up with a bad chest this morning. I need something here. Can you see where there's just, it looks flat? Now we've up here where it looked a little flat, we've placed the berries and the poinsettia, and I just feel it's just a little flat. So I forgot to say I did get some filler foliage, but I don't want to put black on black, if that makes sense. So I've got two choices really, or three. I can bring in another berry here. Let me just get that other one out with a bit of foliage on. And if I just bring that under there so you'll see, and place that there instead. So then that will hide there. I think I'm going to do that instead of bringing another poinsettia in, because then that will make it just slightly even. Yeah, so we're going to place this in. Let's cut it a little bit. Let's place it underneath the tail ends. We'll just move it. Let's have a look. Glide it in. Lift up the tail ends back into position. I think it may be a little bit long, so I'm going to have to pull it out again, cut it again, because I want it to sit basically flat. Excuse my head, guys. So let's just bring those down. Bring that underneath and manipulate it underneath this centerpiece. Spread the foliage of it. And then fluff up the rest of your bow. So then it doesn't look too flat. So we'll just oops, I'm caught. And that's all I think I'm going to add in there today. I don't think I'm going to need anything else, with it being just all the arrangement at the top, as you can see, hopefully. And just to curl on your tail ends, if you're a beginner, just get your thumb and finger and slide them down, and the tips of them will curl under. You can, if you want to go a bit more fancy, and put in some ringlets. I don't think on this occasion I want ringlets. I think I just want to keep them hanging down long. And just move that and be a bit slightly stronger with my hands and bring that over. So that one there, like so. Sorry if you can hear a dog in the background, it's Maisie. She just barks at anything. A neighbour is wanting to mow the lawn, and she just barks at the lawnmower. So yeah, I'm going to just let them sit down and hang long like that. So let me just bring out our easel. And let me bring up the camera. I've got glitter everywhere. Ladder. So I'm just going to bring up our camera. I may have to higher the stand a little. Let's just get rid of that glitter. I'm going to place it on while I'm here on this side. Just grab the hook if I can. Oh my gosh, look at all the glitter. I'm going to place it there and I'm going to zoom out, guys. Right, so I may have to now bring the stand to the floor because it is on my workbench. I'll just make sure that there's no cabling in the way. So I'm going to leave it like that. Place that there. Right, just bear with me. I've not got the antibacterial wipes that I use to wipe my bench down. They're in the house. So I'm just slightly going to move it because I have got lots of green glitter on my mat. Well, that's the majority of it. Look how clean it is underneath. So we'll just get the leftover bits, what I can. They're all sticking to me. That'll have to do till I do it properly. Right. So that is our black and green wreath, where it's all made up from the top cascading down, and with it having poinsettias in, you could have it for a Halloween, you know, wreath, and also if your theme is greens and blacks for Christmas, then that would look nice. I've just got one what's a bit loose. That would look nice for Christmas as well if you want to carry it on until Christmas and have it hanging up. If not, you know, I always suggest place it in a plastic bag and then in a box, but don't fasten the bag because it won't be able to breathe. So if you do it like that, that should be okay. And then place it in somewhere where it's dark. So I hope you enjoyed that. I know it's not it's just slightly different than an autumn wreath, but Halloween is coming up. So again, that would look really nice, you know, because not everybody, again, I state this several times, not everybody likes a big wreath. And I've got a few neighbours who only like the 12-inch wreath. I've got another neighbour who likes, you know, the 18-inch wreath. So they do vary. So you have to sort of like try and make different size wreaths for different people's tastes and also colours and things like that. Some people for Halloween would like skeletons, bats, witches, you know, things like that. Some people just like the Halloween colours but no attachments or signs. So I've done it without any attachments or signs, but just the Halloween colours. And I think this is just, you know, quite an easy wreath to do. So for beginners, without, you know, especially if you've just started out and, you know, you're self-taught or you're teaching yourself by watching others on videos, try and do something without any attachments. Don't, I was always taught, don't jump in at the deep end because you'll drown. It's best to start off with the basics and then build your way up. So for something like this for Halloween, if you're definitely just starting without any attachments or anything, you know, do something like this, practice it. If you feel then that you're a bit more confidence to attach a sign, you know, or anything like that, then do that. And your confidence just builds and builds, guys, to the point where you feel really confident that you feel like you could do a really big 36-inch swag, and you could attach something like Skelly Nelly to it, you know, or Skelly Ellie that we did, and things like that. So yeah, it is a learning curve, but it's exciting. It's exciting. So give it a go. And again, you don't have to have the same ribbons as me. If you've got just some green ribbons, and then some, even if they're just plain, that's fine. If you've got black, plain, you know, with a bold black, I've got a nice black ribbon coming from Farrow Silk. Oof, I don't think I dare touch it because it was extremely expensive. And I've also got a pink one as well, and that was even more expensive. So I won't tell you the price because I don't want you to pass out. But you in the States know how much, you know, Farrow Silk ribbon is. So it's a luxury ribbon. I think I might just have it on show and stroke it because it's I'd be frightened to use it. I'd want to stitch it all back together once I've take it apart and use it. But if you've not got the bright green berries, you know, and you've got blackberries, using blackberries instead. You know, if you've not got this sort of grass, you know, you could use thyme, actually. Things like that, the herbs, you could use the artificial thyme because they're similar, you know, with the, but shorter, obviously, with the length of these needles. But you could use them. Things like that, or grasses, just normal grasses, and then your ferns. If you haven't got black ferns, don't worry, you place in green ferns, anything like that, just to try and give yourself that black and green theme. You could put roses in if you've got black roses or green roses, you could place them in instead, so that would look pretty. Anything, guys. So give it a go, have fun, and just doing an arrangement above the top and cascading down. You could, if you've got confidence enough where the bow is, come down with your foliage and have it hanging in the centre quite low. You could do that by placing a vine. I mean, I've got, I don't know if I can get it, but maybe I can't. Let's see. Oh, I can. I've got things like this that you could easily, you know, attach underneath, if I can do it right, and have those hanging down the centre, and then bring in the more foliage in with it, so it comes down to a point, or, you know, something like that, to give that illusion of it being, you know, extended and things are growing from underneath. You could do that also. There's lots of things you could play around and have fun. So please subscribe, share and like. To everybody you know, guys, even if it's a new beginner, or, you know, a niece, a nephew, you know, granddaughter, grandson, and they wanting to do something, you know, as a hobby, like, because they see you do it and they want to have a go, bring them along to have a look what different designs they can create or learn to create, and have some fun, and hopefully it inspires them and it gives them some ideas. So have a wonderful day, guys. Take care. I've got to go out. I've got a meeting. So have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Please keep your comments coming, and press that, you know, notification button. It will let you know when I've done a video, and you know, just send it to everybody who you know. So have a wonderful day, and I'll take care. God bless, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now. Bye-bye. Right, let's go. I'm gonna take the phone off the stand. This stand always clicks. It's so tough. Oh, hang on. Oh, it's so tough. It holds it in extremely strong. Right. I don't think you can. Oh gosh. Can I zoom in again? Let me just mess about with the phone. Right, I can't seem to zoom in. Right. There is the ribbon in the centre where they're just plain black ribbon. We've got the big harlequin, then the smaller harlequin pattern, and then the glitter. There's our lovely, look how they glitter, guys. Poinsettias where they're cut out and they're webbed. There's our wonderful glittery fern, our beautiful glittery bay leaves, our willow, our twirly grass, our black fern, the small one and the large one, our beautiful black orchids, also our longleaf eucalyptus as well, and our berries. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. I hope you give it a go, and I hope you have fun. So I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye for now. Bye bye.